Nirvana. Hey, hey, hey.
Goodbye. Moment of silence.
Here lies.
Moment of silence.
I'm doing a eulogy.
Oh, okay. Moment of silence for me. Go.
Here lies Ben and Tayshia's relationship. It may have been short, but its place in our heart was tall. Almost as tall as Ben.
I am unwell.
I am so sad.
Tell me about it, Beth.
Because in my head, I truly thought that it was going to be Ben and Zach at the end of this.
Really?
Or at least Ben plus question mark. Like, it was not a doubt in my mind that he was going to make it to the top two.
I was thinking top 3. I thought Ivan was going to go home, but as the season progressed and I just kept seeing that Tayshia had all these great guys, I was like, maybe we should be working with some open relationships. Maybe we should be doing some brother husbands.
Yeah, they all seem to get along fine.
I know.
So,
I mean, it would bother me, but there's literally,
they can just be on the show forever and always.
And
they can all get married and she can spend a day with all of them and like they'll hang out with each other during the day and they'll get a date card when it's their turn to hang out with her.
Yeah.
Forever. And we'll watch it. We'll all watch it.
We were going to be sad no matter who went home. You know, there wasn't really a...
Yeah, but I think in my head, like you said, like I had really emotionally prepared for Ivan. Mm-hmm. So even though I was sad, I wasn't letting myself fall for him as much as the other 3.
But I feel like, and I guess we'll talk about it more, but I do feel like Ivan's brother appearance is what brought him through.
Really? Because she was very emotional about that.
Yeah. That was a connection, in my opinion.
Dude.
But
I don't know.
Honestly, I'll be real.
Ben, you know what the reason Ben went home was?
Because he dropped the ball.
Ben was the reason that Ben went home.
Ben was the reason that Ben went home.
We will dissect and we will investigate when we come to it chronologically in the episode. But just to preface it all, because it's fresh in everyone's mind, Ben is the reason he went home. And that's like...
I'm just sad.
I'm sad too.
I mean, it was a great episode.
And I'm sad for him because he seems like the type of person that he will take about a day or maybe even just a couple hours and then he'll be wrecked for months. That's the impression that I get.
I can't speak on it right now. I'm just sad.
Good thing you wore black and so did I because
we're in
black.
Mourning. We're in mourning. Honestly, I was wearing black leggings earlier and I only put on pants because I had to film a video for work.
You should have kept those leggings on.
I know.
It was an omen. It's as if our souls knew what was to happen before we ourselves knew.
Honestly, like I wrote down a couple of Bachelor Nation news points, but I just feel like it's disrespectful.
To Ben's memory.
To just, what happened tonight. So I'm just, Bachelor Nation, I'm going to put you on pause because it just doesn't feel right. It feels inappropriate.
It's just not what we need right now.
We need to talk about this episode and process our emotions, our feelings. So, yeah.
Well, good thing Taylor Swift released Evermore because at least Ben will have something to
maybe what would
cry
cheer me up
to
is, Beth, how was your last 24 hours since we've talked last about the show?
Honestly,
anything happy?
Honestly, I did not have a great day. So,
oh my gosh, whatever then.
Yeah, I can't provide you a ray of sunshine. Not that anything bad happened, but I'm on my period, so I just had like a big attitude all day. But internally. It was an attitude that no one knew about. So like midday, I told Nate around like my lunch break, I was like, I'm going to go on a walk because I need an attitude adjustment. And he was like,
at least you're self-aware.
And he was like, what attitude? And I was like, well, you don't know because I haven't told you.
Don't understand me.
But trust me, I need one. And then I like got mad at him for saying that he didn't know what I was talking about. I was like, how can you not know
exactly what's going on in your heart and soul and mind at all times?
Yeah, when we like literally haven't talked because we've both been working. So anyway.
I do have one silver lining, Beth. I paid off my loan on my Animal Crossing home.
Oh my gosh.
Which
Congrats.
is fictional money, by the way.
For a second, I was like, wait, you went into debt to
I had to pay
Animal Crossing?
585,000 bells for this house.
That sounds like a lot.
This renovation.
Is that a lot? I don't really know anything about it.
It's absolutely astounding because I literally only added one room.
It was 585,000 bells?
Every time I add a room, it gets more expensive. But
what,
I needed...
like silver bells? Like that kind of?
No. Oh, maybe. No, they're gold. They're gold coins.
So it's just a bell.
It's just a form of currency.
It's
and
bartering.
I needed like a game fun room with I have my rock wall, my dollhouse, because you know how I feel about miniatures.
How old is your person?
An adult? It's me. It's me.
Oh, really?
My rock wall, my dollhouse, my synthesizer, and my pinball machine.
That's fun.
I needed another room for those items.
Yeah, that doesn't go in the main living space.
Yeah. Plus, my living space is also my kitchen. But yeah, I did pay off that loan finally today.
Have you ever thought about the fact that money's basically not real?
It really shakes me sometimes.
Like,
Cam talks
the
about
numbers
this.
in your bank account, they're not even real.
It's a concept.
Like, it's literally...
You're not real, man.
it's like... Don't think about it too much because I never use paper money anymore. So I'm like, this doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, remember when like things were, I mean, I still know one place that's cash only.
Where?
The Swan Drive-In in Blue Ridge, Georgia.
Oh, okay.
Is still cash only.
The only place I can think of off the top of my head that was cash only that is not anymore is a really grungy coffee shop that I went to in college. Mm-hmm. And they like, if you tried to pay with a credit card, they would look at you like, what are you doing here?
You're part of the system. You've been chipped.
Yeah, and that was totally the vibe there.
Yikes. I mean, the only time it's recently changed in the last few years, but the only time I've used cash in like the last 5 to, not 10 years, but like the last 5 years is really for farmer's market.
Yeah, I can't think of the last time I paid in
or
cash.
Birthdays.
And when I got cash for my birthday, and I couldn't use it because everywhere I went, they were like, you have to have exact change because of the coin shortage.
Oh, yeah.
So
I forgot
I was
about
like,
that.
this is actually useless until I put it into some machine and then it converts it to whatever
also,
into my bank
money
account.
is just absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, touching it, it's
the
gross.
most disgusting.
Yeah.
Like
when I have to use an Aldi quarter, I cringe.
Yeah, I don't like change. Cam's fearless with change. One time, before we get in, I promise I won't take
We're just lightening the mood before we crush our souls.
Well, one time, Cam spilled out like our change jar that he's kept. He dumped it all on our sheets, our bed. And I literally was like, what are you doing? And
but if it's
absolutely disgusting.
But if it's sat in a coin jar for a while, that means the germs are gone off it.
Is that how that works?
Yeah, because
I absolutely clean those sheets after
with the coronavirus, like it can only live a certain amount of time on surfaces.
I was just talking about like just dirt.
Oh,
dirtiness.
I was thinking about germs. Like
no, I was thinking about like how absolutely disgusting and dirty money is.
Yeah, you're right. It is grimy.
One time I was in public and I saw someone, their hands were full and they put a whatever bill they had, they literally put it in their mouth. They bit on it to like free their hand.
No.
And I almost fainted. Does anyone else feel about the
You should have gone up
way?
to them and grabbed it out of their mouth.
I literally felt faint. I was like, do you know what you just did? Anyways.
The answer is no, or else I
kind
wouldn't
of
have done
freak
that.
about germs sometimes, but
Me too. COVID, the idea...
Not even COVID,
No. This is what I was going to say. The idea of a global pandemic was my far off, unrealistic personal hell. And the fact that it has happened and I'm functioning is a miracle. Because, like, this is literally my worst nightmare. And it's happening right now.
Yeah, Money's dirty. The
point is, money's dirty. Okay. And we are just avoiding the inevitable.
We're avoiding the inevitable talking about this episode, even though I want to say it was a beautiful episode apart from...
Yeah, it was going so well. I was enjoying myself, especially compared to last night's whatever that was. And then they just had to go and do it to us at the end.
That's the thing. I know the hometown episode's typically one of the better episodes, if not the best episode of the season, in my opinion.
I think I also do like Fantasy Suites episodes.
I just like seeing the dads, the moms, the siblings. I love the inside scoop.
Yeah, I think it's more dramatic when they actually go to the homes.
Of course. Whenever I see the hometown dates, then I'm reminded of the caliber of what I should expect from the show. And now I'm like, what was it yesterday? Yesterday was garbage.
Yesterday was trash.
But it's 2020, so I take what I can get.
But it was complete trash. And I can't believe we still talked for an hour about it.
Almost 2.
An hour and 45 minutes.
Okay, let's dive in.
Picture me putting on a wetsuit and a bathing cap and jumping into the pool because we're diving in.
Get your scuba gear.
When people say diving in,
yeah,
you know how
splash.
You know how growing up at church, like before the sermon, or like in the evangelical culture, people are like, "Liz, we're gonna dive into today's lesson," like that, or like dive.
I get a visual of someone trying to dive into a boat.
That's exactly what I think. Like I picture someone
like a
setting
squat and then dive.
Kara, I picture someone like opening a Bible, setting it on the ground, and then like.
Yes.
Going like...
there was some Christian video that we watched in Sunday school that had that.
And then they like stumble into the Bible and they look around.
Did you ever watch... Yes. Did you ever watch McGee and Me?
No. Is it Christian?
I need someone to connect with me on McGee and Me. I haven't met someone who's seen McGee and Me.
Is it a Christian like based thing? Okay.
Like, you think Bible Man was good? McGee and Me is where it's at.
McGee and Me. Ooh.
Yeah.
Looks fire.
Okay, listeners, if any of you know who McGee and Me is, the video series, I need you to connect with me ASAP.
I'm a VeggieTales girl. Sorry.
Me too, but I'm just saying McGee and Me, just fire.
Maybe we should watch it. Maybe that's the next show we'll review.
Yes. So let's get into Hometown Week. I want to say this week is the most sweat we have seen the entire series. Most entire season. The humidity wave came through.
I totally understand because they're outside in the middle of the summer in Palm Springs. It's probably like 110 degrees. But why are they sweating profusely inside? What's happening there?
Yeah,
like, is the AC broken?
Yeah.
Or are they really nervous? But that was like the amount of sweat to where it looked as if they had run a marathon and jumped into a pool.
Yeah.
And then put a shirt on.
I know.
But Tayshia didn't look that bad.
No.
So
Tayshia was glowing.
I would have had lip sweat.
But I get the nose beads.
Oh, I get it on my upper lip really bad.
Yeah. There's a moment later that I want to talk about with Sweat and Zach that I noticed. And I'm going to find a screenshot of it. I'm going to find like a little screenshot of it tomorrow for a meme or something.
But at the same time, like, they kept wearing long sleeve shirts.
I know.
And pants.
Yeah.
And if it's hot outside, I'm going to wear as little clothes as possible.
I'm not about that. I'm just about the linen look.
Yeah. I don't know. It was weird. It was very strange.
So at the beginning of the episode, Chris Harrison comes in to the guys and explains how hometown, not really hometown week is going to work and how they have to craft these dates. And he uses the term show up again. He says, do you guys want to hear who's shown up for you? No. I was like, let it go. I just don't want to rest.
I just don't want to hear the phrase showing up ever again.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to hear about people who are leaving, like Ben. And first we learn that Ben doesn't know how to cry, which he does prove that because later on he's heartbroken and no tears.
Didn't I say that yesterday that like I don't get sad about things until later and so I think it comes across that I don't have feelings?
I feel like you have all the feelings.
But when it comes to like really I don't know. I don't know how to describe it.
I can't relate.
I'm not saying I don't know how to cry because I cry all the time.
Yeah, but he said he just doesn't know how to cry. So he made it seem like he doesn't even cry when he's alone, like later on.
Yeah, it was foreshadowing.
And that really was.
We should have not been so foolish as to think that it wasn't foreshadowing.
Then we also learn that, I don't know how I missed this, but that Brendan's father had passed away.
He has not mentioned that.
It's in his bio. I will say that. If you go to his long bio on abc.com, it's there.
I just don't remember that coming up like in their one-on-one or any of their times.
Yeah.
Together.
But here we just get more evidence of how in touch Brendan is with his emotions and being able to express his emotions. Like the way he talked about his brother and the way he talked about his family.
He can articulate it really well, and he's not afraid to go there.
Yeah. Now I will say this, I don't think he's told Tayshia that he's falling in love with her yet.
No, I think the only one that has is Zach at that point.
So, but that moment where he was talking about his family, so sweet.
That was so sweet.
And speaking of Brendan, he's our first hometown date. Do you have anything to share before we dive into his hometown date? Okay, so I want to say this. Brendan's standing, waiting for Tayshia to arrive. And La Quinta's grass is chef's kiss.
I didn't notice it, but that doesn't surprise me.
It honestly reminded me of the grass from A Cinderella Story where they're in the drought and...
Oh, and only the Hillary Duff's stepmom has nice grass. Yes, I distinctly remember that.
That's what it made me think of, because I was like, that grass is not native.
I mean, the whole of LA and basically the coast of California and everything, like none of that's real because there's no water there.
Oh, no water, because they're always in drought.
Yeah.
I can't relate. And then what else happened? Oh,
they keep saying they're really nervous, like over and over again. Tayshia says she's so nervous.
I want to say Tayshia's the giddiest around Brendan, though.
You think so?
Yeah, she was the giggliest in my opinion.
I'm trying to think back.
Hot.
He's so
also
attractive.
Tayshia's starting to pull out the jump hugs.
I do want to say that was a super awkward jump hug. Like she didn't fully commit to it.
Yeah, but it was delayed.
But she still did it. So
I feel like Ivan didn't get a jump hug though. I feel like everyone got a jump hug except for Ivan. This episode.
I don't think he did either. I don't remember that.
Makes me feel like if Ben had actually shared how he felt, he would have stayed. Jump hug equals more emotion.
Yeah, I'm so confused by that in general, but
I just think she jump hug equals I want to jump your bones.
Have you ever jump hugged someone before?
No, that would be embarrassing.
I have also never. I don't think I could ever do it.
A tragically embarrassing story about jump hug that I actually do not want to share on the podcast.
Okay.
Because I'm that embarrassed.
Wow, that must be really bad.
Yeah. Because
you're so open.
because it was like, what I'll share is that it was in public embarrassment on stage in front of hundreds of people.
Oh.
That's why I don't want to share it right now.
Okay, well,
I'll share with you after we stop recording, but that's how I'm still embarrassed about it to this day, and it was over 7 years ago.
I respect your privacy.
I'm going to share it with you.
And I'm also very curious.
Yeah.
And this is a case in point of why you don't do a jump hug.
Yeah.
I would never risk a jump hug on national television.
Let's just say it was not my choice.
Oh, no.
It was non-consensual.
Did someone jump hug you?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
So sad about it. So anyways, something more happy is Brendan's date with the carnival.
Yeah.
So cute.
That was cute. One of my friends that I was texting said that they thought it was hokey.
What?
Yeah. I'm just saying other people didn't like it.
This goes back to pretending you're too cool for things.
I don't think she was doing that.
I feel like hokey's exclusively used when you think you're too cool for something.
When you think of the production of the other dates and then compare it.
But he had his niece directly involved. So how was he going to do something not for like a child?
I'm just saying like the other ones had sets and stuff. And theirs was just like, did you see the sign for the basketball? It was very bad.
He also was the first one.
Yeah, so maybe they improved upon
just
their
like how
skills.
Matt James's season looks exponentially better than this one as far as production goes.
Yeah. Yeah, even the beginning of this season compared to...
I know.
Okay, yeah, but I think the idea was cute, and like Brendan made it extremely cute.
Yes.
By just being himself.
And he wasn't just pulling his niece out for like, look, I'm an uncle, I'm cute. He has a genuine relationship with his
and
niece.
I think he was like, this is something that I would do.
Genuinely do. I almost feel like if he doesn't live with his brother and his family, he lives in the same town at least.
Yeah, and so I think probably for him, he was like, I want to do this because this is what I would expect my significant other to do with me. And so, like, if she doesn't fit into that, then she's not the one.
If my niece doesn't like her, she's out.
Yeah, I totally think that is a lot of... Like, I don't think he brought her on just for the cuteness factor or whatever. Although there was a lot.
And we also learned, this wasn't on the episode, but we learned during the episode, and I don't know how we missed it, that Brendan also... coaches his local high school basketball team. How many?
Please don't get me started on that, because
how many ladies in the stands are just internally screaming watching him connect?
If he was in my hometown doing all this stuff, he would just not be single. Like, there's just no way.
Yeah,
and it just must mean that he's a super special guy, because
he says he wants to be a father more than anything.
Gosh, I can't
Tayshia
handle
wants
that.
5 kids.
Can you imagine? Like,
their children, how beautiful they will be?
Here's a scenario I'm thinking of. I'm at my younger sibling's high school basketball game. I myself am an adult. I'm older. I look across the gym. I see the coach. It's Brendan.
Then his niece pops out and they do their cute handshake at halftime.
And you make eye contact across the gym and you think, that's the most attractive thing I've ever seen. That's what would happen.
Yes.
So how does he... I'm just so confused how he's like...
Maybe it's the kind of quirkiness he like doesn't know when girls like him.
Oh, which is so endearing, because cuter. Like, how could you ever think that a girl would not like you, Brendan?
I can't handle it.
Okay, anyway.
It's too much. But the carnival date was super cute. They do the ring toss, the basketball, the jump house.
Oh, something that was awkward was when... Is his niece's name Aaliyah?
Yes.
When Aaliyah came out, I don't think Tayshia realized that her and Brendan hadn't seen each other yet. So she like swooped in for a hug.
I know.
And the girl was like,
oh, okay. Went with it, though.
Yeah, I know. But I just picked up on the little bit of awkwardness. And I was thinking, like, if that were me watching it back, I would feel so uncomfortable.
But I probably would have assumed that too.
I would have too. I just picked up on that and I just wanted to mention it.
Do we have anything else to say about the carnival portion of the date?
Well, they do a secret handshake.
And then he does the little like
and then
TikTok dancing.
He breaks into dance and it works for him.
Got a little hot and bothered there, to be honest. Typically doesn't do it for me, but
also everyone, Kara. Oh, I'm Beth, by the way. This is a Cabbage batch. Kara made a tweet about this, and she has. Let's see how many likes.
The one about Ivan's dad has over 350.
Yeah, okay.
Likes on it.
She's been on fire on Twitter. Like, okay, one of
I'll be honest.
Brendan dancing has 152. Another one she made tonight has 264.
Yeah, don't sleep on our Twitter account.
Yeah, please don't, because
I have 404 on the when you're going to be sad no matter who leaves after the
so basically Kara's famous, and she's going to be leaving me for LA, and
forever.
So I just wanted to give you props, because the dance moment that inspired your meme that has really taken off.
That started the marathon.
Yeah.
Go follow us at Cabbage_batch on Twitter.
Yeah.
I literally don't do any tweets other than Cabbage Batch.
And I don't do any tweets at all, because I did a couple, and then...
You're underappreciated.
Thank you. I'm like one of those artists that isn't appreciated in their time.
You know what Chris Harrison would say about you? You're
what?
Cerebral. You're so cerebral.
He would say I'm cerebral because I'm like the slightest bit not normal.
The thing is, your jokes actually take some sort of intelligence to actually appreciate. Mine are just reaction gifts.
I think that means I am like unapproachable.
No. I think that I just have good gift selection.
Yeah, you do. Anyway, I don't do tweets. Kara does them, and they're funny.
Go follow us.
Okay, so yeah, they do a secret handshake. They eat some popsicles. They have a horse race on those little horses. And it was really cute.
Which is a nod back to the horse thing that they did. Was that night one?
It was like I don't.
It had
know
to be because
it was
It was after I feel like it had to be.
Maybe.
With the what did he say? You just have to. He says
like thrust or something.
Thrust. That's it.
Yeah.
That was a good moment.
That was cute.
Let's dive into the family portion and how precious Brendan's brother and sister-in-law are.
I loved Brendan's sister-in-law.
Both of them were very wise.
And his brother. But like his sister-in-law, just right off the bat, I felt like I would feel so comfortable with her.
I feel like she did a great job of making Tayshia feel seen.
Yeah, and being
about shame
and being encouraging. Like I think a lot of them, which rightly so, go into it a little bit skeptical. And if it was my child or my brother or sister, I would feel the same way. But I thought it was really great that she, like, even though she asked questions, she was also like very encouraging to Tayshia.
Yeah, I feel like sometimes the thing that happens during hometowns is that I just don't get, and maybe it's because I'm not a parent, I don't know, but the defensiveness that people have towards leads sometimes, and like they almost feel like the lead is deceptive, and
well, they're like, okay, but how real can this be? Because you're dating other people.
That's not necessarily the lead's fault, you know. Like, it's a consensual relationship.
Well, and the person that they're related to decided to put themselves in that situation, and if they didn't want to be in that situation, they can leave.
I know, that's why I don't get the defensiveness.
Yeah. So I'm saying, like, I get both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just is not a fair way to walk into it.
Yeah,
because you don't know the lead. And you're already making a
but on the
assumption.
other hand, like that's the person you love most in the world.
Sure.
So you're gonna ask those questions.
I just feel like
even if in the end
love
you
that
understand.
person, you want to be open to what they love.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where a lot of people come from.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people whose parents don't arrive at that conclusion are the parents that are like overbearing, overly involved, that kind of thing.
What I want to say about Brendan's sister-in-law. I got a very strong vibe that she listens to Brene Brown and has read Brene Brown books.
I could see it.
She talks about shame.
Yeah, she has that whole thing going on.
And she made her feel seen. I don't know. I got Brene Brown vibes.
Well, I also think that Brendan, like we know Brendan goes to church.
Yeah.
Of some sort, at least.
Yeah,
too.
I got
like that was kind
too.
of all reminiscent of that whole.
Yeah.
Thing. So
those two things intersect though.
Oh no, that's what I was saying. Like I think those are very connected.
And then Brendan has a great talk with his brother and says, if I could have molded a bachelorette, it would be Tayshia.
So sweet.
I just want him to say that to Tayshia.
I know. Brendan is like
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just like you saw me when we were watching it. I was just like
we were melting.
He's so sweet.
I know, but I need what I need from Brendan. I know we've asked a lot of him, and we've received so much.
He has given so much to us already
on our screens. But the most he has said to Tayshia at this point is, "You're amazing. We need Brendan. If you're going to secure the final rose, you need to step up a little bit." Because Zaxi has already said, I'm falling in love with you. And he said during the lie detector test, when he was asked, are you falling in love with Tayshia? He said, it may have already happened.
Yeah.
He is
straight shooter.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
That's the thing that if this show has taught me anything, this is one of the biggest things it's taught me, is just in life in general, say how you feel when you feel it. Like, because you're not going to gain anything by holding it in.
Yes, I have a whole thing about this. Can I share this real quick? Oh my gosh, I'm literally being brought to tears.
Really?
When I was actually in a really toxic relationship where I just wasn't getting a lot of affirmation, and I was kind of sharing that with someone who was older and wiser. And I wasn't talking directly about the situation. I was trying to be kind of vague because you want to protect your relationship.
Been there.
And she said something to me that it just hit me so hard. She was like a compliment or like sweet words or like affirmation to someone. Withholding that is like withholding a gift to someone. And why would you withhold a gift from someone? And that affected, I'm not perfect at it, but that affected how I communicate with people from that day on.
Yeah.
And someone who does a really great job about sharing sweet words when they think about it is my friend Katie. And she has like, I've been out shopping with her and she'll just compliment a stranger. Like, and I need to be more like that. But I feel like I do a good job with that with Cam because I literally have mushy I love you moments with him like on the hour. I'll just look at him and be like, I love you.
Yeah.
And get all mushy and gross. But yeah.
But I don't mean like, it doesn't mean, oh, you have to tell someone all the time, all the stuff. It's like, but if you're feeling something and it's real and it's something that they would want to know, like, please say it, because if you don't, we see later what happens.
Yeah.
When you withhold that stuff.
Yeah, I've never, I bet there would be some people who if they saw my life like written on a page, they would be like, you share too much, or you I don't know, just like share how you feel too much. But I really do think I would rather live that way than the opposite, you know? But yeah, don't withhold gifts from people. And that includes sweet words that you feel about those people. Tell the people you love.
And telling people you love them, Ben.
Yeah. Okay, so Brendan's family just knocked it out of the park. I don't know what else to say.
That was the smoothest hometown ever.
If you want more niece content, Brendan's niece is frequently on her Instagram, and they're adorable.
And Tayshia says at the end of it that she sees herself falling in love with him. Not that she's falling in love with him.
I see it too.
I see myself falling in love with him. Not really.
Oh my gosh.
I'm kidding. But
I want to say, I know you are. I want to say that your fountain, Beth, makes a lot of appearances this episode.
Fountain is the freaking star of that show.
I did a tweet that it deserves an Oscar for Best Supporting Actor.
It is incredible.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful fountain.
Speaking of fountains and the moments they play, Zach's date.
Big feature. Wee woo.
Wee woo. Yeah, let's talk about Zach's date.
Okay.
You want to get us kicked off on his date?
Yeah.
I literally skipped to his fountain moment.
You were really immersed in your tweets.
I was watching.
I was like, I hope that she's watching this.
I was watching because he was talking about how to hail a taxi the right way.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Oh, I do have a note about this.
You said you had no notes and you wanted me to take it away.
Take it away. I'll do my note later.
First, they did a run and jump, which was also awkward.
A 2-for-2 run and jump, Brendan and Zach.
It was in that moment that I noticed his pants were tight, very tight. I don't like the way he dresses. I don't think it's good.
We already talked about this, but it might be endearing to me. Remember we said this last night.
To me, it's like a little embarrassing.
No, his sneakers are embarrassing.
But like quality human being. So
he gets away with it.
Also, just like do you. Who cares? If you like the clothes, whatever. Think. Yeah. Jeez. It does not matter what we think.
Let's keep listening.
Yeah. This whole podcast is based on what we think.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, he says, like, okay, we're going to practice hailing a taxi. And sweet Tayshia, I don't think she would make it that far. But also I was thinking, like, why would you ever need to hail a taxi anymore? You just call an Uber.
That's true.
But, I mean, it was fun that they did that. And then they walk over to a... like not cardboard, but like wooden hand-painted taxi.
Bagels. Oh, sorry. Hungry.
They walk over to the bagels.
Now we see here that they've already stepped up their game with the sets because they moved from cardboard signs to plywood taxi.
Some intern was up at 3 a.m. learning how to use a bandsaw to cut that and painting it. And they were like, man, I should have really followed my heart and been an art major like I wanted to.
Oh my gosh. And they quit the next day.
Yeah, they were like, That was just uncalled for.
To pursue my passion of being a craftsperson.
Or what if Zach was overseeing it and he was like, no, better.
No, he would not. He would
yeah,
never.
he wouldn't.
You know who Zach reminds me of when he's calling a taxi?
Who?
Or hailing a taxi?
Would there be any way I could guess?
Maybe not. I don't. It's a stretch. I got a hint of Matthew McConaughey.
Wait a second. I'm thinking about it, and like, you're right. Like they have some similar whatever going on.
A similar swagger.
And a similar, like...
confidence.
What exactly are they thinking?
Je ne sais quoi.
Yes, they're both French. No, I'm just kidding. No, that is a totally good comparison. I feel like if you put them in a room together...
They're related in some way.
If you put them in a room together, they would just, like, be that way to each other, and no one would ever actually say anything.
You know that Zach is down to watch a Matthew McConaughey rom-com with you.
Or a Matthew McConaughey serious film.
I'm just saying I need someone to be willing to watch a rom-com with me.
Yeah, I feel like Zach's kind of down to do whatever. He's like, yeah, totally, let's go for it.
My heart's going pitter-patter over here.
Yeah, so they walk in their built taxi over to the bagel shop.
The bagels, that's what we call it in the Rumble Burns home, the bagels.
That makes me mad.
I keep making Beth mad. First the earwax, now the bagels.
Don't speak to me about the earwax. I forgot about that. I had put that out of my mind.
How do you take your bagels, Beth? Let's move on. We trying to divert.
But okay, let me just say something about that. I had a teacher in high school who taught biology. Her name was Miss Radke, and she was from the Pacific Northwest. I'm also originally from the Pacific Northwest. I'm from Seattle.
PNW.
And she also was from Seattle. And she pronounced bagel.
Oh, I just do it ironically.
And she pronounced bag. And
that's like a Midwestern thing.
And she was like, it's because I'm from Seattle. I'm like, girl, I'm from the same place. And I can tell you right now, no one else says that. And so when you said that, it just reminded me of that. And it just got me a little upset.
That sounds like I feel like Becca Kufrin. She's from the Midwest and she pronounces bad.
If you're from the Midwest, it's fine, but don't say it's because you're from the Pacific Northwest, because that's not why.
You should have called her out.
I didn't call her out directly, but I did tell everyone in my class that same thing. So anyway,
how do you take your bagel?
Toasted with my favorite type of bagel. There's two. One, toasted sesame seed bagel with whipped plain cream cheese, or a toasted sesame seed bagel with vegetable cream cheese from a specific bagel shop in Blacksburg, Virginia.
I haven't been exposed to a large variety of bagels. I feel like there's always like...
What do you mean by that?
Like, I feel like I just see plain, blueberry, and then the everything
Oh,
bagels.
I've actually been exposed to a lot of bagels in my day. We had a coffee shop in my hometown in like growing up in Virginia that had a lot of different types of bagels, like tomato basil, sun-dried tomato, Asiago. It tastes like a pizza kind of.
Asiago.
And they also had pumpernickel bagels. Those were really good.
Okay, you know who actually does have a variety of bagels that I just haven't explored? Panera.
Yeah, Panera has Asiago. Have you ever had cinnamon crunch from Panera?
Oh, wait.
That is... Okay, I'm going to get one of those soon.
I mean, run. Don't walk.
Walk, don't run. Run, don't walk, except for when you're by a pool, and then you walk.
Yes. Safety first. But yeah, I mean, you know what's better than a juice bar? A bagel cart.
So true. Maybe that's why Ben went home.
I would send him home.
Because of the wellness shot.
If someone took me on a date to a juice bar.
Actually, I would be into it.
I
love juice. I make my own juice. Did you know that?
Yes. And my friend Miranda would be into it too. I've seen her do a juice press once in a while.
Yeah.
But I'm just not about it unless you're giving me an apple juice and a bendy straw. Like,
I want a bagel and a juice.
If I had to choose, I'm just taking the bagel.
I think it depends on my mood.
You can't do both. You got to have one or the other.
Yeah. If I had to do one.
Yeah, you can't have both.
If I had to do one, I would pick a bagel.
Okay.
But I love juice.
Me too, but this is not the world we live in. You have to have one or the other in the Bachelor world.
No.
Sorry, Beth.
It's stressing me out.
Sorry. Let's move on.
Okay, so they go to the bagel shop. Sweat is pouring down his face to the point where I'm like, how are you not wiping this away?
We're almost to the point that I'm going to talk about Zach's sweat.
Okay, so then they go to their pizza place with this very impressive, like, backdrop.
Yeah.
Where did they get this?
They're close to LA. They're close enough to LA to be like...
To get an artist?
There's backdrops at, like, studios and stuff.
Oh. I was picturing, like, they had to contact an artist to paint that.
No, they had that. They just borrowed it from a studio.
Okay, you're
that
right.
moment.
Oh yeah, because they're a part of ABC.
Yeah,
so they can just like call.
That moment looks like a harkening back to La La Land.
Wow, La La Land what vibes. A nostalgic movie.
I know.
Except that's LA, not New York.
Oh yeah, but still, it got a LA vibe.
Yeah,
not the backdrop, just like the light post.
Yeah, dang, that movie is sad. Nate and I watched it in the theater and I cried really hard.
Yeah, it's kind of heartbreaking. Hopefully not. Like, hopefully Zach's story doesn't end that way.
Yeah, true.
So what happens next?
They go to the park.
Is it
the painted park, and then they go to the fountain.
So the fountain moment. Can I talk about this for a moment?
Yeah, we really need to talk about that moment.
Beth, you're gonna hate this word that I'm about to use, but I'm gonna say it anyways because this is what first came to mind.
Okay,
prepare yourself. I really thought they were going to have coitus in that fountain. I would put fountain coitus. That's what I wrote down. Fountain coitus, fountain emoji.
No.
I mean, it was getting hot and heavy. And you know what I thought about? I wasn't thinking like, this is romantic. I was thinking, I almost said a bad word. Who the heck is in charge of changing the filter on this fountain if they're throwing coins in there?
We were talking about how dirty money is, and now they're just bathing in it.
They were on top of money, but the part they were on didn't have the coins.
If they were on top of money, they would have been slipping around.
Yeah, we saw the bottom. They were in like the side portion that goes like splits
Why did
off.
they get into it in the first place?
They wanted some fountain coitus.
I think Zach was so hot. He was like, I can't not be in water.
True.
Also, the thing that I was thinking, I actually kind of looked away because this stuff makes me uncomfortable, not because I'm uncomfortable with the content, but I'm just like,
it's an intimate moment.
I have a problem even like watching people kiss in public. Like, I don't know what it is. But anyway, when they first got in there, I was just thinking like, her dress is so thin.
Yeah, it had kind of an ethereal.
Yeah, so thin. And she's
ready. She's ready for fantasy suites.
Yeah, I was like, this is basically just a trial for fantasy suites.
Say what you want to say about Zach. You know, Brendan is definitely the hottest, but Zach has a sexual energy.
She was like going in.
They have a strong sexual chemistry.
Yeah, they do. And that was like I
can't talk about it anymore because I'm literally going to get flustered. Let's move on.
Well, Zach said she lights me up.
Yeah,
and then they got back to that. I was like, wow.
Fountain coitus. Yeah. Okay, I've said it enough.
Fountain coitus.
So let's fast
forward. We have to make that the title of the episode.
Okay, we'll put that in there.
Okay.
Thank you. I'm glad that you didn't absolutely hate it. I wrote it down and thought, Beth's going to shun me.
I appreciate a good vocab word.
Yeah.
I hope people know what that means.
Yes.
Just look it up.
Make sure you put definition after that word. Don't just look up the word. Because who knows what will pop up. I'm not responsible for your Google searches, everyone.
Put on a safe search and then search it.
So let's fast forward to the family portion of the date. We'd seen a picture of Zach's parents on Instagram.
Which is very blurry and low quality.
I kind of love that.
Yeah, I do too. Like, Zach's like not good at Instagram.
He's not good at social media content. Tasha's going to help him though, and he's going to shine.
Yep.
And
if they end up together,
he's going to start a podcast about like overcoming addiction, and it's just going to slap. Speaking of slap, my mom texted me totally using the word slap wrong today.
Hey, I salute it.
Mom, you tried. We'll talk about it later.
There's a second chances too.
And I want to say this. We saw the picture of Zach's parents, and the only thing that disappointed me about this part of the date was that Zach's dad was not wearing the glasses that he was wearing in the Instagram photo.
Oh.
The kind of like transition looking aviator glasses that
yeah,
he was
maybe
wearing.
His wife was like, you gotta leave those at home.
Yeah, she edited his outfit.
Yeah.
But
because she's a fan of the show, we find out. So
yes.
she like knows the drill, and she's like, you gotta look good for this.
Yeah.
Sir.
Now Tayshia had a tough combo at first with Zach's brother.
Well, yeah.
And
I was wondering if Zach's brother's married or anything.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Because I was just like, who are you to...
Now, I do think it's fair that he did say... He asked her, do you love my brother, or are you falling in love with my brother?
Yeah, that's a fair question.
Which one was it? Are you in love, or are you falling in love? I think she said, are you in love? Because she said, I'm falling in love with him.
Yeah, and then he was like, you didn't answer my question.
And I think that's fair. In Tayshia's defense, she's been through probably tons of PR training, and she's designed to not give spoilers away during interviews.
Yeah.
And she's answer the question without answering the question at the same time.
Yeah, it's hard. Like, you're never, for stuff like that, you're just not going to have the perfect answers for the family. So if you can come to terms with that before going into it, I think it really helps you.
Yeah.
When you actually get to the...
Yeah. What happened next? Was the dad
combo Well, he next? Asked, like, do you guys talk about the relationship with the other three? Like, what's that like?
Why would you do that?
Because if you don't understand the show, I don't know. Or if you just want to be
that just sounds like the most uncomfortable thing possible and a total boner killer.
Yeah. But hey, Zach's not there, so...
I'm just saying, like, her talking about that with Zach.
Oh, with Zach. I was like, yeah, why would we want the brother to have a boner anyway?
No, I'm talking about, like, because he asked if they had talked about the other relationships.
Yeah. I think I understand why he asked it, but, like, there was no resolution to it. The conversation just, like, ended.
And then the rest of the night was perfect.
Yeah, so I guess it didn't matter that much.
The brother seemed chill at the end.
Yeah, maybe he was just trying to, be the brother and...
Yeah.
Rustle some feathers. I don't know.
Yeah. Then we had the Tayshia. I love when the lead has a sweet dad moment.
Yeah. Or when they have a really controversial dad moment, because that's fun to watch.
It makes you stressed.
Yeah.
And I just loved when they were talking about how, like, when she asked about if he had noticed anything different about Zach, he just said, he's smiling. And I smiled.
Yeah, my friend texted me and she was like, should we be concerned that he doesn't smile? And that's like a unique thing. But I actually really relate to this because I would say Nate's not a super smiley person at all. Mm-hmm. But like the day that we got engaged and the day of our wedding.
He was glowing in those photos.
That was like the thing that people said was like, I've never seen Nate smile that much.
I wasn't
and
there
I take that as a compliment.
We hadn't met yet, but I've seen
You would have. I wish you could have been there. It would have been fun.
I just want to say that those photos, he is glowing.
Yeah.
He's absolutely exuberant.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can see that.
So I totally get that, like where that comment's coming from. And I love that his dad was like, I'm uncomfortable. This is a weird situation.
But I'm not uncomfortable with you.
Right. Yeah. That was... Excuse me while I cry.
Here's the thing. I had high expectations for Zach's dad and his parents because of what we've heard. And then we saw the cute Instagram post. Mm-hmm. And I was like, if I get let down and he's kind of a booty hole to Tayshia, I don't know what I'm going to do. And I wrote down, Zach's dad must be protected at all costs. And any paparazzi comes for him, back off.
Yeah.
I'm coming for you.
Back the freak off.
I have some very special skills.
Such as?
I'm really good at finding people on the internet.
Yeah, that's a good skill.
Because I'm a librarian, and that's basically just a professional information finder.
Yeah. Yeah, his dad was so sweet. And I love, like, at the end, he was like, I hope that it's the beginning of a relationship that will forever flourish.
Flourish. What a good word.
And I was just thinking, like, that's the toast for their wedding.
They're flourishing.
he could look back on that.
He does the toast.
He would give a great wedding toast.
He does the toast, and then he sets a box of butterflies free.
Oh my gosh. Or doves.
Or doves.
Like in Shrek. Remember that?
What was I going to say? Then we go to Zach and his mom.
Oh, his mom is so sweet.
And her first thing she says is, "Are you okay?"
Oh, Mom.
They just had the sweetest moment. He talks about how he wouldn't
This was like so real.
I was wrecked. He was talking about how like I wouldn't be sitting here. I wouldn't be alive
if it weren't for you.
Now, granted, every child that has a decent mom can say that because they feed you.
Well, and
but I get what he's saying.
They literally birthed you and carried you for 9 months.
Yeah, but we know what he's saying.
Yeah. But and then I just thought like it was so funny to hear him talk where he was like, I just, I didn't think like I needed to get married. Like I'm cool with being the fun uncle or whatever. Yeah. But I realized with Tayshia, like I really want a family and I want kids. And like he didn't realize it until then. And I cannot imagine as a mom, that must mean so much to her.
I want to say though, I have a funny thing to say about that moment after she talks to Tayshia.
Oh.
So don't hate me.
I'm not going to hate you.
When they hug at the end though, if at first glance, if you weren't glued to the screen in this very moment, you would think that Zach was shedding a very heavy tear. But in fact, it's actually a sweat droplet from his forehead that fell down in the side of his nose and then morphed into a tear.
That's crazy.
Into a giant
That's
sweat
an inordinate amount of sweat.
So that was the sweat moment.
I have to say, men who are naturally sweaty, that's like one of my least, like the biggest turnoffs for me.
Yeah. Did you ever, I gotta find something. I'm losing his name on the top of my head from a season. I'm gonna double check this really quick.
What were you gonna say about Tayshia and Zach's mom?
So Zach's mom goes to Tayshia and essentially thanks her for making her son realize that he wants to have a family and have kids.
Oh yeah.
And I was kind of like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure that is a joy, but it's not like, that's not your children's job is to like make you a grandparent.
Yeah. So I know that sometimes some people feel that way.
Right. But I'm going to say those people are wrong.
Okay. The person I was thinking of, the sweatiest person I've ever seen on the show. The sweatiest person I've probably ever seen in my life. Josh Murray. From Andy Dorfin's season of The Bachelorette.
Oh, I didn't watch her season.
And then he was on Bachelor in Paradise, and he was even sweatier.
Ugh. Yeah, I don't like... And didn't he turn out to not be a good person?
I don't know how to put this nicely.
Just say it not nicely, then.
He's a little trash heap.
He's a little trash heap.
A
sweaty trash heap.
Yes. He's a little sweat bead. He's the sweat bead on your forehead.
He's a sweat bead on Zach C's forehead that turned into a tear.
Yeah. And he's an incredibly loud eater.
Oh, no. That's also up there.
He's the type of person, I don't know, there's footage of this.
Is he the type of person where he just like leaves a trail of like
messiness
behind him?
He's the type of person who like, there's literally footage of him eating a slice of pizza and going like, like making like pleasure sounds while he's eating.
Well, sometimes when you bite into something really good, you're like, oh, that's so good.
No, this is aggressive. It was aggressive. Everything he does is aggressive to me.
I can't.
I was gonna say go find the footage of it, but I really don't wish that upon anyone.
I'm not going to find the footage.
Yeah,
I'll just take your word for it.
And then let's see.
I mean, basically that's all.
Yeah, that's all. But then at the end, when they say goodbye, the way that Tayshia is looking at Zach C,
when they say goodbye to the family,
when they say goodbye to each other.
Oh, okay.
The way that Tayshia's looking at Zach C, I'm like, this is it.
Zach and her have
desire,
the deepest connection. Yeah. Of all of them. I like this at this point. We had only seen Brendan's before that, but I just thought like, okay, her and Zach have a connection that Tayshia and Brendan don't have.
Just the way that they looked at each other was just so deep.
And that doesn't mean that she's couldn't pick one of the others.
No, because they're all wonderful.
Right. And I'm a firm believer in like the feeling of love is not the only thing that makes a relationship by any means. So like I believe to a certain extent, as long as someone has the qualities that you're looking for and you're both willing to work and put the other person first, you can make virtually like any relationship work within those parameters.
I agree.
And so like connection's definitely not the most important thing.
But they have both.
But they do have both.
Yeah, it's not just chemistry. There's more there.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, that made me think, because I was thinking, like, even though her and Zach have a connection plus, like, the values, if you were on the show, would you be more inclined to pick someone based on a connection or based on, like, they check the boxes?
Honestly, I wouldn't. Can I add a third option there?
You can't add both. You can't.
No, it's a third option that's different.
Okay.
It's comfort. Like you feel comfortable with that person.
So connection and passion, comfortable, or
yeah, just comfort. Like you can be yourself around that person. At the end. And it doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that it's necessarily a passionate thing.
Okay, that's a good question. Yourself. So you would pick comfort over like connection and passion.
Yeah, and this is something I've shared with Cam. I mean, we have chemistry, don't get me wrong. But, I've had more physical chemistry with other people. Yeah. But I couldn't be myself, and I wasn't treated the way that I should have been treated. And
so in the end, it doesn't really mean anything.
Didn't mean any. It was more stressful at the end of the day because I put so much weight on the physical connection.
I think some people, though, like, for instance, Claire, 100% based off connection.
Yeah. I just feel like when you put so much weight on a connection and the physicalness of the connection of your relationship, you know, what happens when that person's sick and they can't, you know.
Yeah, or just old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was just curious.
So, yeah, I just think being able to be yourself and being comfortable, which she says things are so easy with Zach.
Yeah.
I'm so comfortable with, she said, I'm so comfortable with
he has all three.
Yeah.
Connection, comfort, qualities.
Yeah.
That doesn't start with a C, but whatever.
Phonetically.
Yes. All right, let's move on to Ivan.
Okay, Ivan. Ivan didn't get a jump hug from what I saw.
Yeah, the first thing I wrote down was about his niece in the cooking video, so I don't really know what happened in the first part.
So when's Ivan's niece starting her own YouTube channel, her cooking YouTube channel?
She would get a lot of views.
I mean...
I would be one, you would be one.
I love cooking channels on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's like mostly what I watch is cooking channels on YouTube.
Really? I mostly watch vlogs.
I watch vlogs too. I like cooking vlogs. Mm-hmm. I like watching cooks who vlog.
I love grocery hauls. Do you watch grocery hauls?
Not necessarily grocery hauls, but I like watching. I have this person I watch on YouTube. Her name's Grace, but her username on YouTube is called Grackle. Mm-hmm. She's from the UK.
She's the one you've told me about.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she does recordings of her just grocery shopping, and I feel like I'm going on a grocery store trip with her.
I love stuff like that.
I used to love going on grocery store trips in college with my friends.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That's nostalgic.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, how little money can I spend and feed myself for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, how did I go grocery shopping for 2 weeks at a time in college? And spend like $40.
And I wasn't really a smart shopper then either. I was getting like...
I wasn't either, but I think it's just because like I just would make like 2 things and then just eat it for 5 days.
I don't know. I owe my parents so much money for me buying crap food and with their money in college.
Thanks, parents.
I'll take care of you when you're old, I promise. What was I going to say? Okay, so Ivan's dad does not look 73.
So are we going to skip the whole
I didn't have a lot to say about the cooking day other than that the niece was cute. They were
having good interactions.
Yeah, it was cute. The end. Nothing really substantial happened there other than seeing the niece who was cute and they cooked.
Yeah. Okay, so you're right. Ivan's dad does not look in his 70s at all.
I was going to say like 58. That was my guess.
He has amazing genes. Ivan does.
Yeah.
That like bodes well for Tayshia, I guess.
And you can see the resemblance between him and his dad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very handsome man.
Yeah, you can. And his mom is so sweet.
His mom was really sweet.
Obviously, she was like...
Yeah. But one more thing I want to say about Ivan's dad. He needs to like narrate a book. He needs to get on the Audible money.
Yeah, he has a great voice.
I would listen to his voice.
Or just have a podcast.
You know who he reminds me of? His voice reminds me of my grandpa's voice.
Aww.
My sweet dad's voice. He had a really sweet southern, slow drawl. It was really comforting, and that's what it reminded me of. But Ivan's dad, you could make some money off of that voice.
Yeah.
What else happened? I'm trying to find.
Well, Tayshia and Ivan's mom talked, and she was like, "I'm skeptical about this, but I love." Like she said something like, "At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how I feel."
Yes, that was very insightful.
I just thought like that's a very self-aware attitude to have, and I'm sure that that's been passed on to Ivan. So,
and also, just their whole family dynamic is very. They
have each other's backs.
Yeah, but
not in a way that makes you feel like an outsider.
No, because and I want to say also about her conversation with Ivan's mom, Tayshia was very receptive to her being skeptical.
Yeah, she's like that's fine. Yeah, like I understand.
It wasn't defensive.
Yeah.
But just the family dynamic with like the brother story and everything, that is just something like from a movie.
Yeah.
Just that story of restoration.
Yeah, well, and even like Ivan's dad talking about how he had been married before when he was young.
Yes, I love when the dad connects to the lead.
Although he did say something about, he was just like, oh, we were just too young.
Yeah.
And I
disagree.
I disagree fundamentally with sometimes you're too young. It's not you're too young. It's just you're not in the correct stage of life mentally.
I do think there is some truth to rushing into things. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can rush into something at any age.
Time is different from age.
Yeah, you can rush into something.
You can make
an
equally bad mistake at 40 as you can at 20.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I get that concern as a parent about age, but yeah, I think we're both on the same page. I mean, we both got married under 25, so we're a little biased.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't even call it biased though, because like I didn't think I was gonna get married young at all. Like my parents got married.
I was, and then I thought I wasn't going to get married ever.
It's a roller coaster.
Like I wouldn't, and not in a sad way. Like I was just kind of like,
that's fine.
F marriage. Yeah. I'm going to be single and free.
Yeah. No, I mean my mom and dad got married when my mom was 34 and my dad was 32. So I was just like, I'm not even going to think about that until I'm like 30 because
that's how I feel about kids. Like,
oh yeah.
Talk to me when I'm 35.
Yeah, no, but like honestly.
What was I gonna say? I keep losing my.
Ivan says that he's not ready to propose yet when he's talking to his mom.
Oh, I have that in all caps. Yes. I see that. Like I see that too. I was not surprised by that piece of information.
Yeah,
and it's because they have a clear friend vibe, in my opinion. Like I think they have a deep admiration for each other.
I think it could grow into something, but it's not as accelerated as like her connection with her and Zach or her connection with her and Ben.
Yeah, I definitely think it could grow into something more passionate. But at this point, it compared to what she has with Zach and even Brendan, I'm like, this just doesn't compare.
I think she really likes his family.
Their family is phenomenal.
And really likes what that says about who Ivan is.
Absolutely. Because, I mean, I think that some people can be really different from their families, especially if they're escaping like something bad.
Yeah.
But it really is a plus when they have a good family.
Yeah, it's a good sign. It bodes well for you.
Yeah. I mean, that's... I don't know. I can see a lot of different perspectives on that, but it's just a plus.
Yeah.
And
then so like then his brother comes in and surprises him.
The brother was phenomenal.
He was great. Gabriel. Yeah, he was so insightful.
He had so many great insights.
I was like, dang, you're a deep man.
Here's the thing.
That's like that makes me understand Ivan more because Ivan has that like very introspective.
Yeah. Gabriel, what I want to say about him is, and I literally just get chills thinking about him, like just his life and what's happened. And he is just an example of what can happen when you accept help.
Yeah.
From people who love you. And
when you give someone the opportunity to move forward.
Yes.
From like whatever they've
Yeah, because they're not their story.
Right.
Yeah, I just get chills thinking about that story and like how their family has united on that.
Yeah.
And the relationship that Ivan has with his brother. I mean, I just have never seen anything like that in my life.
Yeah, that's really...
Honestly and truly.
Yeah.
And the way that Gabriel talks about Ivan and vice versa, the way Ivan talks about Gabriel.
Yeah.
They both admire each other.
Yeah.
And
I something that Gabriel said, he was like talking about how loyal Ivan was, and he said loyalty is an action word. And I was just like, that is just describes like, that makes your whole family make so much sense that you would have that view.
Oh my gosh, I'm going to cry. But, and I love really when Gabriel says to, I can't remember if he said it to Ivan or to Tayshia, but he said, y'all glowed together.
Yeah.
Let's make that let's use that.
Yeah.
I'm going to adopt that to
I love that. I'm writing it down.
Y'all glowed together.
And then Ivan says that he's falling in love with Tayshia.
Good.
You better be. You better be, Ivan.
And I love when Gabriel says, I'm big on energy. I totally get that vibe from him, that he's the energy reader.
Yeah, although it did give me... Well, and then Ivan said that too. He was like, he's really good at reading people. But then it gave me flashbacks to when Claire and Dale connected on being empaths.
Oh, yeah. I wrote down, like, you know who's actually an empath? Tayshia.
And Gabriel.
Yeah, that too. That was cringe whenever Claire and Dale talked about being empaths.
I still think about that probably like once a week.
I'm sorry for you.
It's okay. But it is hard.
But yeah, all in all, a great hometown.
Yeah.
The only thing that's just missing with Ivan is the thing,
the depth.
The X factor.
The X factor. That je ne sais quoi.
The je ne sais quoi.
As you said it earlier.
So last but not least...
I can't even think about it.
Ben.
Like, I keep getting like waves of like not like butterflies, but like that feeling of a pit in your stomach.
Yeah, I'm just sad.
Like, I'm emotionally reacting.
We need to
it.
talk about it though.
Okay.
It's time.
Okay.
So first off, Ben and Tayshia are both wearing all white, and I just think they're part of Jared Leto's cult.
Yeah. I said that it might be foreshadowing to marriage, but I think I was wrong.
No, Jared Leto's cult. Also, how did I not know that Ben was from Venice Beach? He just screams Venice Beach.
I didn't know that either.
Like, if you just put a picture of him in front of me, I'd be like, Venice Beach.
Yeah. So he says they're going to take a trip to the boardwalk.
They do the rollerblades, which is a cute moment. I'm glad they wore helmets.
Rollerblading is a dangerous game.
Listen, I prefer rollerblading 10 out of 10 more than roller skating. I think it's way easier than roller skating.
Yeah, with the four wheels versus the line.
I just think the inline is easier to maneuver than...
What about ice skating versus rollerblading? I suck
at ice skating.
Ice skating?
I
would argue that falling on ice hurts more than falling on pavement.
I went ice skating literally right before the pandemic hit. I was in Colorado and we went ice skating, and I had the little granny walker.
Oh,
we were skating on an actual like pond.
Was it scary?
Like
were you afraid you were going to fall in?
Oh, it was like in a resort, so it was
really small.
Like it was noted as like safe. Like they had it like
note safe.
Like the ice they had like areas that were like too thin to skate on, and they had it roped off.
Oh, okay.
But it was an actual pond, and I mean, it was big enough I would say it was about the size of a football field.
That's big.
Yeah. So, but I absolutely suck at
and
ice
that
skating.
means if it's a pond, there's no walls staying on. So you really do need the walker.
Yeah, I had the granny walker, and plus it was natural, so like it wasn't
smooth.
They did have a Zamboni come on at one point, though.
Remember the movie Ice Princess where she skates on her pond, and then the guy from the skating rink comes
romantic
and drives a Zamboni around. And that's also risky. That's trust in that pond to drive a Zamboni.
Things you do for love.
Yeah.
Also, flashback, we played, I was more of a referee and like the extra sad player that you don't need, but we played ice hockey with this random like 8-year-old kid and his dad. And that was really fun.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
Nate would like something like that.
I hope they're doing well.
Fun fact, Nate is obsessed with ice skating.
I can see that. And I can also see him just really connecting with a random kid and their dad.
That's the story of who Nate is as a person.
I just see that
he deeply connects with strangers. Yeah. But then his like best friends, they'll be like, "What's up?" And he'll be like, "Nothing."
Yeah. But he can talk someone's ear off if he doesn't know them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see that.
Okay, so she must be pretty athletic because she was doing good on the rollerblades.
Yeah. I'm glad they're wearing helmets.
Me too. So and they were wearing like palm guards and shin guards.
I've scraped my palms with inline skating.
Oh, it hurts.
And then you have to wash your hands later.
Yeah, and like if you get gravel in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst.
What else
then they go to the juice bar and take wellness shots. Yes. They try on hats.
That hat, Mom, I know you're listening. That hat.
This is a podcast for Kara's mom now.
The hat that Ben's wearing is the hat we used to wear at the beach. The 1990s, like it's like a visor, but it's not.
It's if a mullet were a hat.
Yes, because it has a little bow on the back.
Yeah, and it has like the flap down, right?
No. Okay. It's just a really super wide brim.
Oh, okay.
And then.
Do you know the hats I'm talking about though that have like the flap down in the back?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You know what those are good for?
The beach.
The beach, but also like the Sahara and also marching band.
As if we have been there. Well, no.
Also band camp.
Oh.
Were you in band in high school?
No, I was in band in 6th and 7th grade, and when I didn't get first chair, I decided I did not want to do it anymore. Beth. But I also never practiced.
I can't relate though because I was first chair like always.
I got 3rd chair, which is not bad for not doing anything outside of actually physically being in the band room for like 45 minutes a day.
I remember being 2nd chair for a little bit and being devastated, and then I got it back. I like challenged the person and got it back.
You can challenge them?
Yeah, that was dope.
That's fire.
Yeah.
They should make a movie about that. Fire. It's like Step Up, but for band.
I mean, basically that movie Whiplash is a good representation.
Oh, yeah. Remember that part of New Girl where to calm himself down, Schmidt air drums the Whiplash drum solo?
What a great movie. That's a wonderful movie. Not wonderful, like good, feel good, but it's like a piece of art.
Yeah, it is. It's very iconic. Okay, so they try on the hats. They have a caricature of each other that's already drawn, and then they go to the quote unquote beach, which is the pool that they've been at a lot.
But what I want to say here is that water dates have really been underutilized in this setting.
Yeah, I love pools and I love swimming.
Granted, so I don't want to be on TV with my hair all wet though.
But hers looked good.
Tayshia always looks good.
Yeah, I know. It's unfair. How did her makeup not come off in the pool?
They knew she was getting to the pool and they were like, "We're doing waterproof today, girl."
Yeah.
Also crying.
Yeah, true.
Waterproof mascara.
I think she has fake lashes, so she doesn't have to wear mascara, which means that she doesn't have to worry about that.
It's that extra strength glue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we hear that the reason that Ben's parents aren't coming is because his dad is a doctor, which makes sense.
Yeah. So she's going to meet a really close family friend.
I still feel like we just didn't learn a lot about his parents, and maybe there's a reason for that, or maybe it just wasn't interesting. There's a reason to.
Yeah, maybe maybe there's stuff going on there that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But so during this part, like in the voiceover, Ben says that he hasn't been this happy in a long time.
Yeah.
Which honestly is like a bit of a red flag for me.
Oh, like the happiness being reliant on like a relationship.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know how to put that, but you put that.
Maybe
perfectly.
The way in his defense, because I see what you're saying, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second.
I'm open to. I want to be wrong.
Yeah,
I
mean, maybe he was happy, but like when you have a special someone, you're just happy.
You're just like, oh wow, I didn't even realize like what I was missing. Yeah, I'm sure that's probably how he meant it. But he literally says he hasn't been happier in his entire life.
I mean, that's how I felt when I met Cam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree with you, though.
I'm just skeptical.
The self-sufficient thing is important, and
I'm skeptical, but I'm also very into like romance and romance stories. So I don't know why I'm skeptical.
No, we like a self-sufficient being. I just don't think that's what he was communicating.
Yeah, I do like also that he said Tayshia is the most pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
If he's not a character out of a Jane Austen book, I don't know what he is.
Yeah.
Like everything about what continues to happen is just 19th century British novel.
Yeah. Even all to the very end when he's in the car leaving. Yeah.
To potentially whatever happens in the future.
We need him to come back. I can't wait till he has a hot seat moment after the final rose if he doesn't come back. So Ben's sister, who is his favorite person in the entire world, I love that.
Yeah, I do.
I love a sibling bond.
Oh my gosh, I accidentally just looked at my heart rate and it's 130 beats per minute because I got so worked
stressed. And then Ben's family friend, who was on Top Chef and is a very accomplished chef.
Yeah, what the heck?
She has the blue check on Instagram.
Yeah, she's famous.
Why wasn't the more date her cooking?
Ben. I don't know. That would have been nice.
Totally would have beat out the juice bar.
Maybe you would still be here, Ben.
Maybe she doesn't cook for her friends. You know, like...
I would think that if anything, like, I would want to cook for my friends more.
Maybe it's a special thing, though, like, not like an all-the-time thing.
Like, it's too sacred to do it, like...
Yeah, let's just do it for special...
Yeah.
I mean, this was a special event, so...
But, like, she has to really know the person. And she doesn't really know Tayshia, so...
That's true. So we got confused because we thought the sister was the friend and the friend was the sister.
Right. I was like, the sister looks to be about Ben's age. Like, why are they best friends? What's happening here? Then we realized it was his sister and it was okay. Which
made sense because she pulled Tayshia aside first. It wouldn't make sense for the friend to pull her aside
first.
I
definitely thought it was the friend, like half of that conversation.
Yeah. But I didn't have a lot to say about the sister conversation. Just went fine. It was great.
No, the only thing I wrote down was Tayshia and Ben's sister talk.
Yeah.
That's all.
It was just a sweet, good conversation. Nothing super...
I liked that as soon as she got her alone, she was like, Tayshia said to her, oh my gosh, like I have so much stuff to ask you.
She did say that talking to his sister made her understand him better and was really reassuring because he is kind of...
Yeah.
He kind of...
It must not have been that reassuring.
Well, he dropped the ball. Yeah. He had it set up for success. And then, oh my gosh, though, I will say Ben's conversation with his friend, who I forgot
Antonia.
Her name. She is a
wait,
what?
Antonia is the sister.
No, this is a friend.
Okay. I got confused. I thought it was, never mind, whatever.
Okay, she is a true friend.
Yeah.
I loved what she did here. I'm taking notes. She knows how to be a good friend.
And you can only do what she did if you really know the person, though. I know.
To say. Yeah, you don't do that to a stranger.
You can't people do stuff like that to a stranger or someone they don't know very well. That's like the worst thing ever.
I've had someone do that to me, and I literally was like, I'm never talking to them again. It was something happened. I forgot what happened. It was something in a church situation. I literally had just met this person, and they said something.
And you were just like,
they acted like they knew something deep about me, and I literally was like, okay, bye.
Yeah, but she sits down. She's like, you are in love.
I loved it. And it wasn't like overly aggressive.
No.
She just was like, that's what it is.
Sometimes you just need that little push to realize.
I loved it. It was a movie moment.
This whole thing was a movie.
Made the fall so much worse.
This whole thing was a movie.
But I saw that moment and I was like, I'm taking notes for like whenever one of my single friends fall in love and maybe they just, this exact situation, maybe it will happen to me and I can help them connect the dots.
Yeah, she
in a comforting, sweet way and not aggressive because I can be aggressive sometimes with my friends finding love.
She said, it's not even a question. You love her.
Yeah, I love it.
And then he was like, yeah, I'm in love with her.
I want to know, does Antonia have love in her life?
I'm curious about that.
We need a reality TV show about chefs finding love.
They can call it. It's like
cooking up love.
It's like
a recipe for love.
It's like listen to your heart, except they're chefs.
Delicious love.
Love, sweet love. That's kind
of a taste for love. Love palate.
Love
an
palate?
Appetite for love.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay,
I was trying to think of literally anything and I couldn't.
Simmering love. I don't know. Sizzle. Love sizzle.
This is going downhill quick.
Love sizzle is the winner. It's so bad.
Love sizzle. That's like saying bake love or like
love sizzles. And the host is like, we're sizzling up some love tonight, guys.
And the host is Guy Fieri.
He's always wearing an apron.
And he's always wearing sunglasses.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I gotta make this.
Love Sizzles coming soon.
The date has gone well. Everything's set up for success.
Like, it went so well.
And Ben just, there's no other way to put it. He dropped the ball. That's the nicest way of putting it. And Tayshia was openly frustrated with him just not.
So, yeah, like, after they leave.
Yeah, they're on the bench.
It's going great. Like, they're kind of on a high of what just happened.
Yeah.
And then he completely freezes.
It's like doing a great gymnastics routine and just not sticking the landing.
Yeah.
Because I know so much I have so much experience with gymnastics.
I'm a professional gymnast.
Listen, gymnastics and is the best Olympic sport. Fight me.
I like diving.
Sure. But is it the best one?
Summer and winter combined? Because figure skating is really up there.
That's like ice gymnastics.
Arguably, gymnastics is just figure skating without ice skates or ice. Or pretty costumes or music.
Hurts, I'll be honest.
We won't argue about this at this juncture.
Yeah. So Tayshia is just openly frustrated about him. You can... I mean,
wouldn't say openly, but I would say...
Or you can tell that something is underneath the surface is bothering her.
She's waiting for him to seal the deal, and he doesn't, and she interprets it as him just not being in it to win it.
Yeah.
And he's just like... It's the classic miscommunication of the century.
Yeah.
Which is, again...
Makes your heart hurt.
What all romance novels are built on.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet. The world's biggest miscommunication.
Yeah.
It could have... That's the thing. Like, that's what's crazy about communication is it literally will make a relationship or break a relationship.
I just don't see... If I were Ben in this situation, the producers would have had to hold me captive to not, like, show up at our suite later and make it right. Because he literally had...
But maybe... Yeah.
He had a full night to show up and make something happen, which is what he's done before. He's done it once. He can do it again.
And he was like, wait, that didn't go well. I need to fix that.
And...
Yeah, I think he was just... The bottom line in this ending part of the date or the hometown, he was just scared. He was too scared and he didn't know what to say.
Yeah.
And she walked away and he watched her walk away.
She was confused.
And... So then we go to the rose ceremony.
Yeah. And Zach said something here that I related to on an incredibly deep level. Because Zach is a very emotive guy. I'm also a very emotive person. And he said, I'm worried that it's too much. Like, he's worried that, like, he's too much for her.
He's worried that he's too much?
Like, his emotions. Like, he's like...
Oh, I thought you meant emotive, like really high energy.
No, just like that he's really put it all on the line.
Well, I can imagine like coming from his perspective, which I don't like think this is, I wouldn't say that this is true, but from his perspective, he's like, I'm a recovered addict.
Yeah.
I'm like 30 something years old.
Yeah.
I like didn't think I wanted a family.
Yeah.
I didn't think this was going to work. He's not super mushy-gushy, but he has a lot underneath the surface. Like, I understand why he would maybe feel like that.
Yeah. I just related to that so hard, and I just don't think we hear that a lot from contestants about, like, we hear more about, like, I don't know if I'm in love. And
whereas he's like, I don't know if they are down for this.
Yeah.
For all that I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's another level of self-awareness right there.
Wow. You really hit the nail on the head there, Beth.
Thank you.
You're so insightful.
I'm just like talking in a trance and thinking about what goes down in a minute.
The biggest thing that shook me the most, well, first off, Ben talks to Chris Harrison and basically practices saying "I love you."
Yeah, and Ben doesn't Chris Tayshia even say like, "Do you know how does she know how you feel?" No, he says to Tayshia like, "Do you know how they all feel about you?" or something like that. Like, he's kind of trying to help. Which, again, why aren't the producers stepping in here?
I really feel like the producers must have held him captive because he should have jumped at the chance. Or they would have been like, you're going to have a chance to talk to her before the rose ceremony, and he got tricked.
If they did that, that's so messed up because that's altering the course of everything.
And typically, I mean, if Ben watches the show, which he probably didn't before this, when you get to this point, there's no cocktail party anymore.
Yeah.
It's just,
I think like
rose
no
ceremony.
matter what the producers said to him, I think that he could have known that he should have done something differently. Anyway.
So what shook me the most, not the most, but what surprised me was that Ivan got the first rose.
Yeah, because then you're like, wait. This is not the final
chopping block, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is not the final 3 that we anticipated.
Yeah.
Well, I think this is producer inspired,
of course,
order, but like it's interesting that even now they knew to put Ivan first.
Yeah. To me, giving Ivan the first rose just put the nail in the coffin for Ben for me because I was like, there's no way Brendan's going home or Zach's going home.
Yeah. As soon as she called Ivan, I was just like,
this is it.
This is horrible.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, I had emotionally prepared for Ivan to go home, and I was just not ready to say goodbye.
Yeah.
To any of the other 3.
To any of them.
So then she obviously calls Zach.
Yeah, Zach and then Brendan. And this goodbye with Ben
I just got another, like, my stomach just flipped again.
Well, the way he said goodbye to her, he, like, was expecting for her not to walk him out. Like,
yeah.
He's just like, thank you for everything.
Yeah,
I almost think he didn't want to talk to her because he just didn't know what to say.
I don't think he didn't want to talk to her. I think he was so shocked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he didn't have words.
He was so shocked and he was so like, honestly, I think there's so much going on underneath the surface that he was just like, oh, I guess I got everything completely wrong. And he hurts my heart. And he has said, like, before, when he's been talking to Tayshia, like, I just want everyone to know I'm okay, almost. Or, like, I don't want to be a bother to people. I don't want to be a burden to people. So I honestly think this is another manifestation of that attitude of, like, oh, I don't want to be a burden. It's like, oh, okay, you didn't want me like I thought you did. So, like, I'm sorry. That was my mistake.
Because his thing is he doesn't want to feel like a burden to people. And he just kept saying, like, I'm going to be okay. And I do love what Tayshia did here, though, because I thought she was going to get mad and be like, okay, I guess this is bye. But she, like, stopped him and said, like, don't shut down on me.
Yeah. Well, I thought she said, like, what aren't you telling me? Maybe she
may have said that, too, but she definitely said, don't shut down on me. And he just kept saying,
but the thing is, like, I don't even think he was shut down. He was just like...
Well, I do think part of it was shut down. Like, it was like a fight or flight type thing.
But I don't even know if it was... I don't think shut down's the appropriate word, because if you're blindsided, how can you be shut down? You haven't processed... Your brain has not caught up with what's happening.
If you told me what does shutting down look like, that was it, in my opinion. I don't know.
See, shutting down to me looks like getting in a fight and then not being able to, like, after a certain point, being like, I have nothing else to say.
He also I think the fact that he didn't have words was a form of shutting down. But he just kept saying, like, I'm heartbroken, but I'm going to be okay. He's
the type of person he cannot process in the moment. Like, he needs a minute. He needs a minute. And, like, we watched it. So, like, basically, he didn't say anything. She just said, this is, like, it was real for me.
Disappointed. I'm, like, angry.
And after he got in the car, Tayshia was talking in her interview, and she was like, I just kept thinking, please make me feel like these past few weeks meant anything to you. And then we literally watch Ben process what happened. As in, he puts all the pieces together, and he's like, wait, I should have told her before. Wait. She interpreted that as me not loving her.
I just cannot relate to that in any way, shape, or form. Like, I just don't see how he didn't see that he should have told her how he felt.
I think that he just thought he was going to get a rose, and he thought he was going to have that opportunity.
Because he already said the night before that he should have told her how he felt. So how is he realizing that he should have told her how he felt?
Again, 19th century British romance novel. This is classic
I'm
stuff.
Just confused.
This is what would happen like before he goes back and gets her.
I mean, I love Ben. I'm confused. I'm sad, but I'm also just a little disappointed. I'm just going to be honest.
The Enneagram 4 in me is, I kind of feel bad saying this, but it is like thriving off of this moment because there's so much to dissect about like the like few words that could have changed everything.
That makes me anxious.
That makes me...
The 6 in me is like the few words that could have changed everything in that scenario makes me incredibly anxious.
So that doesn't make me anxious. That makes me like appreciate the gravity of how fragile the lines are that we walk on in life.
But that's the thing.
Like, that's crazy that he could have said one thing before that and like everyone's life could be different. What
wrecks me is like this isn't a story. This is someone's life.
No, I know. Like that's why it's sad. But I think like this is real, and this is like the essence of humanity and the essence of romance and heartbreak.
I really do think I can't. I don't think I can talk about this anymore. I'm like I'm really hurting.
I don't want to like come off like I don't care about their feelings, or because like I'm genuinely really sad. Really, really, really sad for both of them, especially because if I'm Tayshia watching this back right now,
I can't think about this. I can't.
I would feel like I had made a mistake.
As someone who like gets really hung up on like little things that I should have done or like would have done differently or whatever, this wrecks me. Like I think I just need to move on.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, what do we think about the promo for the future?
Next week? It doesn't look promising that like Ben would come back.
Yeah, they didn't even hint at it.
Yeah. But I will say that's the great thing about all of this is at all times, the outcome of this scenario is in Ben's control. Like, and so
I just can't talk about it anymore.
Okay.
I'm so sad about it.
I thought that would make you feel better.
No.
Does it make you feel worse?
Yeah, it makes me feel worse because I relate to that. I just can't. The only thing that gives me hope is that the 3 remaining guys are absolutely wonderful, and Tayshia does not have an easy decision ahead of her. And it looks like it's going to be drama filled, which is, good TV, good for us. And I hope she finds love. That's what I hope everyone finds love. That's what I want. And I know that this is a TV show, and I know it's like entertainment. Well, no,
but it's real. Like it's their real life.
Yeah, and I think it just hit me hard tonight. Like this is people's lives, and like we were talking about earlier, like tell people how you feel.
Yeah,
when you feel that, and wow. Sorry to end on that note. I'm just like wrecked.
No. I think that it is easy to make it detached, but it's real.
I'm really glad we have 2 more segments to talk about instead of just ending on this note, because we still have this week's Rosebud.
Oh yeah, there was nothing you want to say about the promo?
No, I just think drama. I'm looking forward to it. I'm anxious to just figure out how this ends, and I hope everyone finds love.
And we're remaining unspoiled for the season. Like I haven't seen any spoilers.
I actually heard, and I just saw the headline. I didn't read it.
Is this a potential spoiler?
No.
Okay.
I heard that Reality Steve was wrong, and he had to make a change on his spoilers, and which makes me think he might still be wrong.
He doesn't know. The
franchise is doing a great job about continuing the storyline after filming initially ends.
The past couple years, they've done a really good job.
Yeah. So just because they have a final rose pick doesn't mean that's where the story ends, which I like.
I like that too. Because again, it's a reminder that it's real life.
Yeah.
It's not just a TV show.
Yeah. Oh.
Some people do think it is just a TV show, and they're wrong.
I know. I mean, I'm Exhibit A. I'm wrecked right now.
All right.
Let's talk about this week's Rosebud, though.
Okay.
So this week's Rosebud, I feel like I keep forgetting to explain what this is for our in case we have new listeners.
Oh, yes.
This week's Rosebud is when me and Beth give a rosebud to a cast member. It could be a producer. It could be an inanimate object. Beth is struggling with her microphone right now.
I just hit my microphone
twice.
And then I made a face, and then I adjusted, and then I hit it again. So,
but we give a rosebud to someone every week. And what is yours?
There's like I'm sad, so I'm like,
I'm sorry.
No. It's okay to be sad. That's the thing. It's okay to be sad.
You know what? I'm just gonna give one that doesn't even make sense this week.
Okay.
I'm just gonna give it to the bagel cart because I really want a bagel right now, and I think it would cheer me up.
If I needed someone,
a bagel with Zaxby's company.
Oh, that would be nice.
But yeah, the bagel cart gets my rosebud this week.
I think that I actually thought, okay. I will give my rosebud to the drop of sweat that turned into a tear.
That is a good one. Dang it.
Well, it was inspired by you. You're the one who.
But that was so good. Wow.
I just wanted to say that to cheer you up.
That did cheer me up. The humidity this week was real.
I just don't. There's not humidity in Palm Springs. It's
this
dry.
Week there was.
It's dry heat.
I know. Something happened.
I think it was just 120 degrees.
Maybe it was the week of the hurricane that happened.
But
I don't know how weather works. Sorry.
Me either.
Okay, our next segment is called Will You Accept This Recommendation? It's when me and Beth give you a top shelf, high quality recommendation for you to recommendation for you to improve the quality of your life. And
that's a good description.
Yeah.
It makes me feel a lot more like it has a lot more weight when you say it that way.
I mean, it's the little things though that improve the quality of your life.
True.
My recommendation this week, I had a different one, but based on our conversation yesterday with certain hobbies that I have that are disgusting to you, I'm not going to do a certain recommendation that I have. I'm going to change.
Okay, thank you. My
recommendation tonight, I keep saying this week, but we had a podcast.
Oh,
last
yes,
night.
tonight.
My recommendation tonight is to watch. I don't know how to watch full episodes because I don't know what streaming services it's on, but watch clips from the British show Taskmaster, which is an incredibly hilarious show. It's nothing that would ever exist in America ever, because sometimes our sense of humor over here is kind of garbage. But it's a very unique show where they have comedians come on every week and they do these absolutely hilarious tasks that are very much open to interpretation, and it's so funny.
I'm gonna check it out because you were telling me about
dry humor. Also, if you like Great British Bake Off, the hosts that Mel, the old host, and what's the new one? The newer guy, the
one
guy.
with like the helmet hair.
Yeah, what's his name? I totally blanked. He's on there too, and they're both hilarious.
Is his name Paul?
No, that's Paul Hollywood. He's the judge.
Oh, I love that his last name's Hollywood.
I totally
but he's
just
British.
blanked. I'm not going to look it up because I have something important pulled up on my phone for next.
There's something after this?
Yeah, you'll remember. I'll remind you. What's your recommendation?
Okay. My recommendation for this week for you.
Oh, man, dramatic.
I'm just trying to think of it. I'm just trying to think of like something that I did today. Oh, okay.
An attitude adjustment. That's what you did today.
Oh yeah, I should say that. Okay, so I recommend today I needed an attitude adjustment, so I went on a walk during my lunch break and I listened to an album. I love going on a walk and like picking an album that matches what I'm in the mood for, and then like listening to it all the way through in order.
Yeah, in order is important.
And so I did that today, and it was really nice. And it was like kind of cold outside, so it woke me up, and it was sunny, so I got my vitamin D.
You to a new perspective and better attitude.
Yeah, so that was good. Like just giving yourself an attitude check is a power move. Especially
really
for
is.
someone like me who I'm very like I don't operate like externally as emotions based, but like internally I'm very emotions based.
Well, this goes back to the point you said earlier that just made me more sad about you being in control.
Oh yeah. Either you can view you being in control as freeing, or you can view it as scary. I choose to view it as freeing.
But it's like the whole saying of, you know, the only thing you can control is your reactions, or like the way your actions.
Yeah.
And wow, that's a good recommendation, Beth.
Well,
Especially in
you
2020.
you gave it to me. You just gave me.
I told you needed an attitude adjustment.
Yeah, exactly.
Before we close, we need to announce our giveaway winner.
Ooh, yes.
Our giveaway winner, little drum roll.
That reminds me of SpongeBob.
Mel,
yay! What's her username?
Mel Offman Rodriguez.
Nice.
She's been following us for a while, so I'm glad that someone who's followed us for a while won.
One of the OGs.
And so Mel will be in contact with you shortly to make sure that you get your goodies.
Woo! Congratulations.
As we close, please make sure you're following us on Instagram at Cabbage Batch Pod, on Twitter at Cabbage_Batch.
It's a good time over there, you guys. Like, if you're listening to a 2-hour podcast about The Bachelor, then you'll enjoy what we post.
Yeah. We do our Enneagram memes. Make sure you give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to us there. Follow us on Spotify. We're anywhere you like to listen, honestly. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on iHeartRadio. We're on a lot
Google
of different
Podcasts?
places. Yeah, we're on a lot of places.
I was wondering if we were.
We're everywhere I can possibly get us right now. So please review us. It's so other people can help find. It helps other people find our podcast. That's what I'm trying to say.
And I want people to find our podcast.
Share it with a friend.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for listening.
Hang in there, you guys. It was a rough one today.
Let's just hope everyone finds love next week.
Yeah.
So,
and I hope that everyone that's listening has some love in their life.
Yeah. And if not, we love you.
Yeah. And so there you go. You have some.
Yeah. Be thankful.
Anything else we need to say before we?
Thank you so much, you guys. And we'll talk to you next week is double episodes again.
Oh man.
So we'll talk to you next Monday.
So yeah, buckle up.
Buckle up, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.